Your neighbor is talking about secret in way you never expected. They said you look. Archangel Michael says, my beloved child, subscribe manifestage. Archangel, don't skip this because something has been unfolding right beside you, closer than you ever imagined. The people who live just a few steps away have been saying things about you that were never meant to reach your ears. Stay till the end because what you're about to hear will completely change how you look at those familiar walls and that quiet lane outside. For days, whispers have passed through, thin walls carried in the air like fragments of curiosity and envy. And one evening when the lights flickered in your home, a truth quietly slipped out from their lips. They said your name slowly, carefully, as if it carried something sacred or forbidden. Their voices weren't filled with anger. It was something else. Something you wouldn't expect from people who wave and smile when you step out every morning. 333 type amen to get blessing. They said, do you notice how they've changed? One of them leaned closer, lowering their voice so even the walls couldn't catch it. They weren't mocking. You could feel the curiosity wrapping every word. There's something about their energy lately, like something divine is protecting them. You see, they've been noticing the glow around you, the calm you've been carrying even through chaos, and it's confusing them because they can't understand why the storms that hit everyone else never seem to touch you. What they don't realize is that heaven's eyes have been fixed on you. Every time you cried silently at night, thinking no one cared, your spirit was being rebuilt stronger. And now your light is blinding those who once doubted you. 444 tape men to get blessing. One of them, the quiet one who rarely speaks, said something that froze the room. They look different lately. It's like someone from above touched them. The others fell silent. You could almost hear their hearts racing. They didn't mean harm. They were in awe. Because, my beloved, the transformation within you isn't normal. You've been chosen for something divine. That sudden confidence, that peace in your eyes, it's not random. It's a reflection of what the universe has been preparing for you. Every moment they see you, they sense something they can't name. A vibration that reminds them of destiny itself. They don't know that Archangel Michael has already surrounded your home with unseen light. 555 type amen to get blessing. But not all whispers were pure. One of them, the one with a half smile and curious eyes, said something that caught even the others off guard. You know, when they walk by, it feels like they know something we don't. That's when the energy shifted. Because deep down, they feel your intuition. They've seen you sense things before they happen. They've seen your calm when everything goes wrong. It unsettles them, not because they dislike you, but because your peace exposes their chaos. Don't scroll, my child. What you don't see is that every time they talk about you, heaven listens. Every word spoken behind your back becomes a seed for your blessing. 666 type. Pay men to get blessing. The neighbor in the blue shirt, remember that one? They said, I think they're about to rise. Something big is coming for them. Those words whispered with uncertainty carried power. Because when others speak your elevation unknowingly, they summon it faster. That same night, the wind outside carried your name differently. Even the street light flickered as if, acknowledging a shift. Archangel Michael says, "Do not fear their talk. It is your confirmation. What they say in secret will soon be shouted in light. And suddenly, their curiosity will turn into admiration. They'll say they always believed in you, though you'll remember the days they doubted. Keep walking in silence, my beloved, because your rise will make noise on its own." 777 Type Amen to get blessing. One of them looked through the curtain and whispered, "They don't even realize how magnetic they've become." Another replied, something about their eyes, like they've seen truth and came back stronger. They don't know the battles you fought behind closed doors. They don't know the nights you cried for peace while pretending to be okay. But heaven does. And that's why your glow terrifies and inspires them at the same time. So when they talk, don't let it shake you. It's not gossip, it's prophecy. You're stepping into a chapter where, even those who once ignored you will whisper your name with reverence. 888 Type Amen to get blessing, and soon one of them will come to your door. The same neighbor whose eyes always lingered when you passed by. They'll hesitate, holding a letter or maybe a small gift. They'll say they just wanted to check in. But inside, they'll be trembling because something in their heart told them to reach out. It won't just be a visit. It'll be a divine appointment. Heaven will use that moment to reveal that not all who watched you were enemies. Some were silent witnesses to your becoming. One of them even prayed for you in secret. And when you see that, you'll finally understand. Not every whisper was meant to harm. Some were echoes of your rising destiny. 999 Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, keep your spirit calm and your doors open to peace. The world around you is adjusting to your light. What they say about you today will one day turn into the reason they seek your advice tomorrow. Archangel Michael says, stand tall even when eyes follow you. Their curiosity is the confirmation of your chosen path. Now breathe. Because the same neighbors who once whispered, they look different, will soon say they became untouchable. 10 Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, stay right here. Don't blink, because what happens next will make your heart race. The same neighbor who once spoke your name softly is now standing by their window, holding something they've been hiding for weeks. You've probably felt it, the tension in the air when you step outside. The way their eyes linger, not out of jealousy, but from something heavier, like guilt mixed with awe, because the truth they're holding could shift how you see your entire story. 11 Type Amen to get blessing. It started the night they heard music playing faintly from your room. They said that song again, it always plays when they're about to receive something big. It wasn't coincidence. It was a sign. Every melody you hear at the same time each day is a coded message from heaven saying, I'm near. But your neighbor didn't just notice your glow. They noticed the light around your home flickering every time you prayed for peace. They took a photo one night, not out of malice, but curiosity. When they looked closer, they saw a faint figure of light standing beside your window. And from that night, they stopped gossiping. They started wondering. 12 Type Amen to get blessing. The next morning, they whispered to another neighbor, you won't believe what I saw last night. Their hands trembled as they showed the picture. There's something divine protecting them. The others didn't laugh. They just went silent. You became a mystery no one could explain. Even the postman said he felt peace every time he dropped mail at your gate. Something about your space feels sacred now. Like heaven's doorway stands there unseen. And the neighbor who once judged you now, secretly lights a candle each night whispering your name in gratitude. 1313 Type Amen to get blessing. But then came the twist. One evening they found an old letter slipped under their door. No name, no address, just your initials written in gold ink. It said, "You're chosen to witness the one who carries the flame." They froze. Archangel Michael says, this was no accident. That letter was meant to show them who you truly are. Since then, every time they see you, they sense something they can't explain. They don't just see a neighbor. They see prophecy in motion. They see someone whose silence carries thunder and whose calm carries destiny. 1414 Type Amen to get blessing. A few nights ago they confessed to someone close. Every time I speak their name, I feel warmth in my chest. They didn't understand that it was heaven responding. Because your name, my child, vibrates with purpose. It's no longer just a sound. It's a calling. The whispers have turned into prayers. The same people who once doubted you are, unknowingly blessing you with every word they speak. They talk about your glow, your calm, your rise. Not realizing they are fueling your next chapter. Don't skip this truth. What people say about you in secret often becomes the script of your miracle. 1515 Type Amen to get blessing. And now listen closely. The neighbor with the blue curtain is preparing something. They've written your name again, but this time it's on a sealed envelope with a silver lining. They plan to slide it under your door, tonight. Inside it is something you never expected. A message of apology, admiration, and truth. Archangel Michael says, when you find that letter, open it with peace, not suspicion. It will reveal that heaven has used them as a messenger. Their words will confirm what your spirit already knew. You were never just another face in this street. You were heaven's proof that light can live in human form. 1616 Type Amen. To get blessing. That night as you rest, you'll feel a subtle knock, gentle, hesitant. You'll think it's the wind, but it won't be. It will be that neighbor's trembling hand guided by divine courage. They will stand outside for a moment whispering, "Forgive me for not believing sooner." And as you step near the door, something will shift. The energy, the silence, the air. You'll feel warmth spreading through your chest, a confirmation that this moment was written long before you were born. Because this isn't just about neighbors or words. It's about divine timing. 1717 Type Amen to get blessing. The next morning, sunlight will fall differently through your window. You'll notice the air feels lighter, almost new. And when you open the letter, you'll read, "You've been a light for us all. We saw your faith when no one else did." That one sentence will bring tears to your eyes, not from sadness, but from recognition. Heaven had been working through whispers all along, turning curiosity into conviction, doubt into revelation. My beloved child, you were never being talked about, you were being confirmed. 1818 Type Amen to get blessing. So the next time you hear them mention your name, smile softly. Because now you know every word, every whisper. Every look has been heaven's way of showing you that your story has reached the hearts it was meant to touch. Archangel Michael says, the walls that once carried rumors will now echo blessings. Your name will be spoken not in envy but in awe. Stay still, my beloved. You are entering the phase where even silence will work in your favor. 1919 Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, stay right here because the moment they step forward is the moment heaven's secret breaks open. It's early morning. The street is quiet. The world's still half asleep. You open your door and there they stand, your neighbor, eyes shimmering like they've seen an angel in human form. They don't say a word at first. Just hold that envelope in both hands, breathing shallowly as if afraid it might vanish. Every sound in the air stops. No cars, no birds, only that heartbeat rhythm between you and them. 2020 Type Amen to get blessing. Finally, they whisper, I wasn't supposed to see this. Their fingers tremble as they open the envelope again. Inside is a second note, smaller, older, written in handwriting that doesn't belong to either of you. It reads, when the light awakens next door, guide them with truth. You look at them confused but calm and they continue. This letter was found behind my mirror weeks ago. I thought it was a prank, but then your home began to glow every night. Tears gather in their eyes. I realized this was real. 2121 Type Amen to get blessing. The words hit like gentle thunder because deep down you already felt something guiding your nights. You remember the sudden calm you felt during storms. The way your lights flickered when you prayed. Now it all makes sense. Your neighbor wipes a tear and says, the message said I'd know it was time when your peace silenced the noise of this street. They lower their head. Not in guilt but reverence. Heaven used their curiosity to become witness to your awakening. 2222 Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, every watcher becomes a messenger when the divine moves. You reach out gently touching their hand. The same neighbor who once whispered now stands trembling before the truth. You tell them softly, it's okay. You were meant to see it. A glow fills the space between you. Not light from the sun, but something warmer, higher. For a moment, the air feels alive, vibrating with unseen music. Even the leaves outside seem to pause listening. 2323 Type Amen to get blessing. Then they confess the part that truly changes everything. That night I took the photo of your window. They whisper, I saw a figure behind you. It wasn't shadow. It was light shaped like wings. Your breath stills. They add, it felt like something was protecting you and watching me, too. Since that day, peace hasn't left my heart. You realize heaven didn't just choose you for blessing. It chose them for witness. You were never alone. Someone nearby was meant to confirm your miracle. 2424 Type Amen to get blessing. The two of you stand silently. The letter, now open between you, flutters in a soft breeze. Its final line reads, "When they know the truth, both will rise." You smile gently. The neighbor looks at you uncertain what that means. But Archangel Michael whispers through your heart. It means unity replaces fear. Like shared doubles. And in that moment, without words, you both understand every whisper, every curious glance, every moment of unease led to this recognition. 2525 Type Amen to get blessing. Later that day, they return with something wrapped in white cloth. You unfold it carefully. It's an old photograph of this street decades ago. Yet in the faded print, your window glows faintly as if marked before you ever moved here. My grandparents lived here, they say softly. They told stories about a promised light that would appear in this very home. The realization strikes like calm lightning. You were destined to live here not by accident but by divine placement. The prophecy was older than your lifetime. 2626 Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, your neighbor wasn't spying. They were fulfilling a cycle written long ago. The watchers became believers. The street became holy ground. And your story became proof that destiny cannot be delayed. Archangel Michael says, "Where you stand is sacred, those who doubted will now defend you. Those who whispered will now guard your peace. So breathe easy. The eyes that once followed you will now watch over you. The same voices that questioned will now speak blessings in your name." 2727 Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, don't move because this is where everything starts to make sense. The neighbor still holding that photograph takes a deep breath. Their voice trembles as they say, "My grandmother used to speak of this place like it was alive," she said. "A guardian once promised that light would return here in human form." You stare at the old photo again, noticing something you hadn't before. A faint symbol etched near the edge of the paper, an old sign of protection. It matches the small charm you found years ago beneath your doorstep when you first moved in. 2828 Type Amen to get blessing. The neighbor's eyes widen when you mention the charm. That's it, they whisper. That's the sign of the covenant. You can see realization flooding their face. The shock of connecting generations of stories to you. They pull out a folded note from their pocket. Aged, yellow, almost crumbling. My grandmother wrote this before she passed. They explain. She said, "When you meet the one who carries calm in storms, know the guardian has returned." And now standing here before them, you realize you're the one the old story spoke of. 2929 Type Amen to get blessing. They step closer, their voice trembling with emotion. We used to think it was a myth, they say. But the night you moved in, every light on the street flickered at once. The wind stopped. Even the air felt different. You remember that night vividly, the silence, the soft ringing in your ears, the stillness that made you feel watched but not afraid. Now you understand it wasn't coincidence, it was activation. Archangel Michael says when destiny arrives even walls remember. 3030 Type Amen to get blessing. Your neighbor continues. She said the guardian wouldn't come with wings or crowns but with wounds that became wisdom. They look at you intently. And that's what I saw. The peace you wear after everything you've been through. You feel the weight of it now. The truth that your pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Every heartbreak, every loss, every lonely night trained your soul to carry what others could not. You were never just moving into a home. You were taking back sacred ground. 3131, type Amen to get blessing. The two of you walk to the garden behind your homes. There beneath an old oak tree. The neighbor kneels and brushes away fallen leaves. Beneath the soil lies a small glass jar sealed tight. They lift it gently as though touching history itself. Inside is a slip of paper with 7 words written faintly. The flame returns when hearts are ready. Tears fill your eyes. You realize the prophecy was waiting for this exact moment for their belief, your presence, and heaven's timing to align perfectly. 3232, type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael whispers. This is the moment the watchers become keepers. The neighbor's tone softens. All those times I thought I was just talking about you. I didn't realize heaven was talking through me. You smile gently, knowing now that every rumor, every whisper, every curious look was never random. It was communication disguised as conversation. Heaven was weaving a network of awakening around you through them, through moments, through signs. And now that the truth has surfaced, peace floods every inch of that street. 333, type Amen to get blessing. As dusk falls, the two of you light a single candle on the window ledge where everything began. The flame dances against the glass, reflecting softly on both faces. The street outside grows quiet again, but the silence no longer feels empty. It feels protected. Your neighbor says softly, I feel like we were always meant to meet. You nod because now you understand heaven never hides miracles. It introduces them slowly. You don't need to explain yourself anymore. The light speaks for you now. 3434, type Amen to get blessing. And from that day forward, everything changes. The street feels warmer. Strangers who walk by pause a little longer, smiling without knowing why. Even the air hums with something unseen, soft, calm, and alive. Archangel Michael says, when light fulfills its promise, darkness must bow. Your neighbor's family, once doubtful, now guards that oak tree as a sacred place. They call it the tree of return. And every time the wind passes through its leaves, it sounds like your name, carried on the breath of angels. 3535, type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, stay with me now, because what happens after that candlelight night is where miracles truly start to move. The morning sunlight feels softer than before. It bends through your curtains as though it knows where to fall. Across the lane, the same neighbor who once whispered now greets you with quiet awe. They aren't the same person anymore. Their eyes carry a calm you've seen only in those who've touched truth, because ever since that night, their home has started to change. The air feels lighter. Arguments have stopped. Even their plants have begun to bloom faster. 3636, type Amen to get blessing. They tell you over tea. Ever since we lit that candle, everything feels alive. Their children who used to wake up anxious now laugh in the mornings. Their dog, once restless, sleeps peacefully by the window. Even their house clock, which had stopped ticking for years, started again that night. You smile softly because you know heaven doesn't move loudly. It moves through details. The divine energy that surrounded you has begun to ripple outward, healing everything it touches. Archangel Michael says, where peace lands, restoration follows. 37:37 Tape amen to get blessing, and then something even stranger happens. The neighbor's husband who had been jobless for months suddenly gets a call from a company he never applied to. The voice on the phone says, "We found your name through a referral, though no one knows who referred him." By evening, he receives his offer letter. The pay is more than he ever dreamed, and the position exactly what he prayed for silently every night. When he looks at you across the fence the next morning, his eyes glisten with gratitude he can't put into words. He whispers to his wife, "It started the day that candle burned." 38:38 Type amen to get blessing. One evening, their little daughter draws something on the floor, a stick figure with a glowing circle around it. When asked who it is, she replies innocently, "That's the light person who watches over our house." The adults freeze. They hadn't told her anything yet. She smiles, looking at your window, and adds, "They're friends with the one next door." You feel a gentle chill down your spine. Not fear, recognition. Heaven's protection has expanded beyond your walls. It's guarding every home that once misunderstood you. 39:39 Type amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, when one light shines without pride, nearby hearts catch fire with faith. Soon, other neighbors begin to feel it, too. The woman who once gossiped about you now leaves flowers by your gate, whispering, "Thank you," as she walks away. The old man who rarely smiled now waves with both hands. The entire street begins to glow with kindness that feels impossible in this world. You don't do anything different. You just keep living in peace. But heaven is now using your stillness to shift destinies. 40:40 Type amen to get blessing. Then one afternoon your main neighbor rushes over holding her phone. "You won't believe this," she says, "my mother's medical report came in today. The illness is gone. Completely gone." She trembles as tears stream down her face. She doesn't say it outright, but her heart knows. The miracle began the night your lights flickered. The night faith replaced fear. You simply take her hand. And in that moment, both of you feel a presence, strong, invisible, wrapping the air like gold silk. You realize this street was never ordinary. It was a stage set for divine proof. 41:41 Type amen to get blessing. As days pass, the blessings multiply. Someone wins a court case they'd fought for years. Another family finds a missing heirloom inside a wall they'd repainted. A young man across the road finally reconciles with his errunged father. None of them can explain why. But every time something good happens, they look toward your house because they can feel where the current started. The light didn't just visit. It anchored itself here. Archangel Michael says, when truth takes root, every branch bears fruit. 4242 Type Amen to get blessing. Now people from other streets begin visiting, drawn by an energy they can't describe. They walk slower as they pass, whispering, "Do you feel that peace?" Some even stop by to ask for prayers without knowing why. Your neighbor becomes your silent helper, welcoming them, guiding them gently. It began right here, she tells everyone, pointing to that small candle on the windowsill. One moment of light changed everything. And though you smile humbly, your spirit knows it wasn't the candle. It was destiny unfolding exactly on time. 4343 Type Amen. To get blessing, subscribe Manifestage Archangel TO. Listen God's talk and wisdom every day.